So today we're going to talk about some mortgage do's and don'ts. There's a lot of things you want to pay attention to, both good and bad, and things you want to make sure you do and don't when you're getting ready to get your mortgage and purchase a house. One of the first things you need to do is you want to check your credit score. Don't wait till you go. There are things like Experian.com. You can also take a look at some other things, Credit Karma. A lot of times those are not going to be super accurate, but at least they will give you an idea as to what your credit score is. You can also always order a credit report. I believe you get one free a year, and then you can take a look at what's on your credit report if there's anything you need to take care of, because you want to make sure your credit score is somewhere in the 580s or higher, 580 being for FHA type loans. Generally, if it's below 580, you've probably got some things that need to be cleaned up on the credit. And they could be easy things. And if you call me, a lot of times we have a way with the company we work with that we can give you an idea as to what you could pay off, what you could do to increase that score, and then get that ready for you to get ready to go. So you want to make sure also, number 2, that you get pre-approved, not pre-qualified, pre-approved. Pre-qualified is where we just take a look at what your the information you give us and we pre-qualify you. Doesn't really mean a lot, isn't worth the paper it's written on. A pre-approval actually takes a look at all of your documents, and we go here at VanDyk one step further, and we go into where we actually collect your documents and send it to an underwriter. So you are underwritten pre-approved. That is one step further, but a lot of times right away you'll need a pre-approval to make that offer on that contract. So give me a call, I'll ask you for some documents, we'll take a look at a soft pull on your credit and be able to see what we can qualify you for. The next thing you want to do is you want to understand your budget. You want to make sure you budget. You want to make sure what payment you feel comfortable with, because you could qualify for quite a bit. That doesn't necessarily mean that's the payment that you're comfortable with. And a lot of times you want to make sure you tell people that you don't want to push to the very end. But then again, there might be something that you just have to buy, that it's just your dream house and you really want to do that because you're going to cut back on other things. Well, we want to make sure that that fits in your budget and fits in your debt to income ratio, which is basically your debts versus your income and the ratio that you get. One of the things you're going to also be told is to shop around for lenders. That is a good idea, but I want you to know when you come to VanDyk, we are very hands-on. We're also, I don't want to say personable in the way that it's a personality thing. Basically, we treat you like family. I always like to say I've got 2 daughters and I would want somebody to take care of them and not treat them poorly and kind of try and pull the wool over their eyes if they're, if they're looking for some house or something like that. So again, basically what we do is I can shop around, I can also rate match, and I can do a lot of different things. So I'm going to give you the best deal that's out there. But if you are shopping around, if you're using me and you are looking at other rates, you can always give me that information. I do go and take a look at everything every day to make sure that what I'm offering is the best rate and the best deal for you. And keep in mind, when you are calling around, if all you're doing is asking for what's the 30-year fixed rate, then that's all you're going to get. It may not be the rate that's for your particular situation. You could have 3% down, which makes you an FHA loan versus a conventional loan, and the rates are different on both sides. You could be credit challenged for that matter, but we're getting you approved by charging you a little bit higher rate. So again, just because you shop around doesn't mean that's the rate you're qualified for, but that's what we do try to do, and rate match and make sure that you are getting the very best deal you can. You'll want to also gather any necessary information together. You'll want to get your tax returns, your W-2s, 3 months of bank statements. You'll want to have all of that information ready to go, because when you are looking to get pre-approved, I'm going to ask you for some of that, your most recent 30 days of pay stubs, and I'm going to want you to send those over to me in order to get you pre-approved. If you're just, again, wanting just basic information for a pre-qualification, I can do that. But again, that doesn't help you when you're making an offer on your house. So gather all your documents, because if you're like me, you could have your tax returns in the safe deposit box at the bank. You could have your pay stubs. I don't even get my pay stubs, so to have to go online to get those, which you can. And don't think that just because you don't get bank statements mailed to you, on every bank account website, you can go in and ask and pull up a section for statements, and you can print any statement that you would need. You want to maintain your financial stability. You want to make sure that you don't change jobs, don't even maybe getting a promotion might not be a good idea. Contact me first, and then we can talk about whether it would be better to wait 30 days or wait till after closing, or it could be a possibility that it could be something that works for you. But if you totally change jobs, totally out of your line of work, something you have never done, or better yet, which is not really better, you become self-employed. That changes everything. So definitely do not make any changes if you've made an offer on a house, you're getting ready to buy the house, and you're making, you're getting your loan done. Don't make any major changes. You want to maintain your financial stability. That's what we're looking for, and any changes, even at the very last minute, because we do update and verify that you are on your job right up until the very end. So you want to make sure no changes are done. The last thing that I always talk about with my do's and don'ts is you want to make sure that you know and you have an understanding of terms and things. You should be able to ask your lender anything. What's an APR? What does it mean? What goes into it? What are the rates? What are points? Do I need points? Can I pay more points? Can I get the seller to pay points? And have a basic knowledge of terminology. You don't need to know everything about what goes into everything. You don't need to know everything about every program. That's my job. And that's my job, is to lead you down the program and get you the program that is best fit for you and your situation. But you do want to have a basic knowledge of what's going on, and you should always feel comfortable to ask your lender any questions. There should be total transparency. That lender shouldn't be trying to talk over you, talk faster, to where you feel like they're schmoozing you or trying to just like push you aside. No question is a dumb question, and especially when you're dealing with something you don't do every day. It's something I do every day. So let me help you, let me lead you, and we'll definitely get you approved. So now let's go into the fun side. Not really fun side. These are the things do not do. Don't. First, do not make big purchases. Do not go buy a car. Do not go get a new credit card. Even if you're just getting it and you're not going to put anything on it, do not. There is an inquiry that goes on there, and it drops your credit score. And God forbid, if we pull an updated credit before the end of the transaction, it could affect your rate or even your approval. Do not consolidate because you got this great credit card rate and you're paying off all your debts. Again, don't make any changes. Wait till after closing. Do not go buy rooms to go furniture because there's no interest and no payments for 60 months and yada, yada, yada. It shows up on your credit, and it shows up with a payment. And if it doesn't show up with a payment, we have to make a payment for you, which a lot of times is higher than what the real payment is. So don't buy furniture for a house you don't own yet. Do not buy a car. Do not change your credit or financial picture. Do not close any accounts. Now, I know this goes kind of back to what I just talked about with your financial picture, but again, on your credit report, do not close any accounts. You may think it's better for you, but if you close an account that you've had for 10 years and all you have are accounts that are a year or two old, that goes into the algorithm, and that changes your credit score. Even if you're a co-signer on a credit card, do not change it. Do not get off of that credit card until you get closed. Once you're closed, Do anything you want to do, but do not open or close any new accounts. Do not change jobs. That's a big one. Do not go to work with a friend because they're going to pay you more money, so you've left the one job, you're going to a new job, and you're going to go take pictures on the beach of all the weddings, but you used to be selling cars. Two totally different things. Cannot pull them together. It could affect your loan. If you become self-employed, I don't care if you were cleaning windows and being paid by somebody and now you're going to clean windows and do it on your own. If you're self-employed, you must have 2 years of established self-employed income. If you don't, then I cannot use your income. You would no longer qualify. So again, this goes back to your financial picture and all of that. Do not change jobs. If you're getting a promotion, call me first so that we can figure out how we need to document that promotion and to make sure that if you were hourly before, that you're either going to stay hourly with more money or you're going to become salary or something like that. You cannot get a promotion and get paid hourly previously and then your promotion is hourly plus commission, because guess what? I can't use your commission because you've never gotten paid commission. So do not change your job without consulting me first. Do not skip or miss the fine print. Make sure you're reading your documents. If you have any questions, call me. That's where we go into explaining. No question is a dumb question, because when you get to the end and you need $10,000 for closing and you thought you only needed $4,000, and I go back to the document you signed at the very beginning of the whole transaction and you were actually supposed to need $12,000, then we're thinking $10,000 is great, and you're thinking, wait, I don't have that money. So make sure you read your documents, you understand them. If you don't, ask me the questions, because that's what we're here for. We're here to hold your hand, help you walk through the process. Don't do it alone, and don't think you or somebody you know knows all the answers, because let me tell you, your best friend who only closed a loan once or maybe never bought a house before but has a lot of information, they don't know. Do not omit, lie about anything. Think of me as, again, your lawyer, your doctor. We have patient confidentiality, client privilege. Tell me everything. The last thing I want to happen is that we get you all the way through underwriting. We're 3 days before closing, and something that you knew about, you didn't tell me, comes up at the end and totally blows the deal. Just because it's bad or good, either way, doesn't mean I'm going to necessarily put it in the contracts or in your loan. It may be something we don't even need, but you need to let me know everything so I know how to address it head on when it comes, or ahead of time, because a lot of times I can write everything up in an email to the underwriter so they have all their ducks in a row and they like that we've told them everything already. So again, do not omit or lie about anything. Let me know. One of the biggest things people do is they call around, they look for rates, and that's how they choose who they're going to do business with. Do not do that. Don't be that person. We all pull rates from the same area, the same market. We're all based on the same thing. Most rates are going to be within 1/8 to 1/4 of a point of the same, of each other, of wherever you're calling. And I think I said this earlier in the dues section, but if you're calling around and just asking for what the 30-day rate is today, somebody's going to tell you a rate. They're not going to tell you if there are points. They're not going to tell you if there's origination. They're not going to tell you if they're going to take your low credit score. They're not going to tell you if it's 20% down required. All of these things affect the rate. What you need to look for is, yes, rates are important, but you want to make sure you get somebody with knowledge, that you get somebody who's there to make your goal happen. My job is to make sure you get a loan and you get the house you want. That is my main goal, my only goal. My goal also is to help you understand, help make the process easier, and make it where you're not worrying about everything that I am worrying about it in behind the scenes, where a lot of times you never even know. So make sure you get with somebody who is knowledgeable, who you feel comfortable with, who you feel like you can ask questions to, you feel like there's transparency, and you don't feel like when you ask a question they talk over you. I've had that myself, and we know a shyster when we see them. Just, make sure you get with somebody you feel comfortable with. Rate isn't everything, and we want to be your lender for life. We want to make sure that we help you when you buy your next big house or the bigger house or your investment property. We want to be your lender for life. That's what we want here at VanDyk, is we want to build a partnership and help you through everything. That's why we also call ourselves the guy with, or the girl with the person. We have so many things out there. If you needed a plumber, an electrician, whatever you need, we've got the guys. So we want to be your go-to person. The last thing I like to talk about, and that is one of a big don't, is don't forget to ask about programs, about assistance programs, first-time homebuyer programs. A lot of times there's ways that I can save you more money, more rates, anything like that. And also, don't forget to ask me about how to structure your contract. Maybe we could get you a buy down, which the seller could pay if we write it in the contract that way. So definitely do not forget to check on first-time homebuyer programs. So, in bringing all of that together, we've got some do's and some definite don'ts. So if you have any questions, or you're wondering what you need to do, or if you have a question, or if something in your head says, I don't think I should do this, give me a call and I'll be able to help walk you through it and answer your question. Dawn Hall, VanDyk Mortgage, 239-789-7561, your lender for life.